Hi, Bailey. Can you predict when a child's going to talk based off of their delays? I think you can. Now, is this an easy thing or is this an easy answer? Nope. I still go back to what's the number one rule that I have here. I need to see the way your child's organizing movement. In my little brain, and this is what Aaron's after me, and I'm really excited because I just came out with a whole protocol for birthing deviations and 4 stages of birth deviation. Just had the CVI scale produced last week. Now we're doing the birthing, working on things with CP and so forth. You have to first of all know your child's development, and that includes their birthing structure. What kind of birth did they have? A lot of people think that the birth went really a lot better than you think it did, and that will affect talking. And again, did they have a full-term natural delivery versus a C-section where they pulled arm first? If the head doesn't present first, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have delays in talking, and there's many reasons why. So the child specifically has to be evaluated. Even if you tell me, well, my child has CP, that means nothing to you. Telling someone sometimes with diagnoses are great. You need them for medical evaluations, right? You need them to, like, I just have a munchkin yesterday. It's a muscle-based diagnosis. We need to, muscles, heart. We got to check the heart. We got to check we've got to, because they're all muscles. We've got to keep an eye on these things. We need a plan. That's medical. But when you have also a lot of diagnoses, they clump them. There's no 2 CP cases that are the same as far as I'm concerned. They have similarities. They have familiarities. You might have one aspect of it that's the same as somebody else. But again, how that person organizes the movement or how that baby, infant, toddler, child does that, it's different. You are meant to have all your developmental milestones before you start stringing words together. You will start talking before you're walking, but not when you're saying in and out or up and down or where you start stringing sentences. Walking and cruising has started, right? And so when you're trying to get conversational English, conversational, not just English, any language, from your child, and they have not hit those major milestones, now this is where movement lesson comes into play, or other therapies that put the development into the child, even though they're not capable of producing it on their own. Perfect example, you can see that is Aaron's oldest, Julia. She's smart as a whip. She can talk left and right. Does she have hips even to stand up in? No. And I don't mean to say that. I mean, Aaron and I love each other very much. We've had a lot of conversations about our kids. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm practically a godmother to her kids. But that I don't mean to sound that I can be facetious about the child, but still, her vocabulary is amazing. But she shouldn't be talking like that. But she's had movement lessons since she was 4 months old, so she has the skills in there. And Erin tries to teach you guys that to do these things, even though she can't do those things. And that's why Julia too doesn't say I can't do those things, because in her mind she can. You know what I mean? Or she wants to get around and she wants to do these things. Yes, there's things she quote can't do. But her vocabulary is very good considering what she is, being where she's non-ambulatory. And again, that's just one example. But wouldn't you want, that's why we say here, this is about optimal development. Sometimes you don't have the one thing, but you have the other thing, right? It's still optimal for your child. And that's where people just don't understand. I don't want my child to be like somebody else's child, right? I have somebody else's children to be like me, and that's why I did all this, right? Graham shouldn't be 1 in a million. My Gordon should be 1 in a million. It should be a million of a million, right? Why would we want my son's fully autistic but fully functioning, going to college? And it's not a brag, guys. I'm here to figure out, what did I do that I can get 50 other kids to that position, 5,000 other kids to that position? That's what I'm after. And that's what it's got to be. So yeah, I think development is very predictable, and I'm one of the few people who can go forward and backwards. Oh, why isn't your kid walking? Because he didn't do this, this, this. Oh, you're right. No, I know I'm right. I don't mean to be right, but what do we have to do to build a better foundation, right? And sometimes that's from a house to a car to whatever. We just need better foundations, just in our family, but in our kids' development. But we have such a weird practice here of, oh, a baby will be fine. No intervention whatsoever. An intervention is looked at as like, oh, what's wrong with them? No, it's just, you can't just go to professional soccer tryouts when they're 20 and they never even kicked a ball. You've got to do these things, right? Development takes action, but you want a professional soccer player, do the baby support program. You know, like don't wait for development issues. You want optimal development. So yeah, it's truly predictable. I'm trying to find more ways how to do it so people can look at, and I wouldn't say standardized testing, because I'd love if everybody did movement lesson, but a lot of people are like, that's why I'm doing the reflex course, could bring people in that aren't necessarily here to learn a new modality. But yes, it's totally predictable, but it is an individual case basis. But this whole wait and see thing, even in talking, it's got to stop. It's got to stop.